Tara Rodas is someone who has been trying for a couple of years now, trying to get the word out about how migrant children are being used and trafficked in this country with the help of the U.S. government. Now, when she was working for the federal government, she actually tried to get this heard by one of the only means that is legally able to be done as a government employee. She went to the OIG, the Office of Inspector General. She did this, went to the Department of Justice Inspector General. She was taken off the case she was working on by the ORR. The ORR is Office for Refugee Resettlement. Basically, it's the people that were trafficking all of the illegal immigrants around the nation. Uh, they put her under investigation. She was escorted off her job. Her badge was taken, all because she was tired of hearing about different children that were being trafficked. Two of them during last year, during a 2024 hearing, talked about a 16-year-old girl from Guatemala. Sponsor claimed to be her older brother, but well, when this 16-year-old girl was taken to North Carolina, where this supposed brother was, started finding pictures on social media of the supposed brother touching her inappropriately, and they're saying that another picture came up was basically her a picture of her being sold. 13-year-old girl from El Salvador released to an MS-13 person. So let me let you hear two things. One is a testimony of Tara Rodas talking about these children that were trafficked. And we're then going to hear a clip from her being interviewed on Fox News talking about how the Trump administration has been working hard to clear out the backlog of children who have been trafficked by this government, backlogging all the forms and everything. That it's basically whistleblower accuses Biden admin of leaving thousands of migrant children trafficking reports uninvestigated. Well, that backup, all that's being investigated. So let's let you hear these two clips. Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
Our final witness is Ms. Rodas, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, Chairman McClintock, Ranking Member Japal, and distinguished members of the committee. It is an honor to be here. I thank you for the invitation to share my testimony. My goal is to inspire action to safeguard the lives of migrant children, including the staggering 85,000 that are missing. Today, children will work overnight shifts at slaughterhouses, factories, restaurants to pay their debts to smugglers and traffickers. Today, children will be sold for sex. Today, children will call a hotline to report they are being abused, neglected, and trafficked, and we don't know if they're going to get the help they need. For nearly a decade, unaccompanied children have been suffering in the shadows, and I have to confess I knew nothing about their suffering until 2021 when I volunteered to help the Biden administration with the crisis at the southern border. As part of Operation Artemis, I was deployed to the Pomona Fairplex Emergency Intake Site in California to help HHS, Office of Refugee Resettlement reunite children with sponsors in the United States. I thought I was going to help place children in loving homes. Instead, I discovered that children are being trafficked through a sophisticated network that begins with recruiting in home country, smuggling to the U.S. border, and ends when ORR delivers a child to a sponsor. Some sponsors are criminals and traffickers and members of transnational criminal organizations. Some sponsors view children as commodities and assets to be used for earning income. This is why we are witnessing an explosion of labor trafficking. Now, whether it's intentional or not, it could be argued that the United States government has become the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation that is run by bad actors seeking to profit off of the lives of children. As for me, my interest is the safety of the children. I do not view this as a political issue. I view this as a humanitarian issue. I assure you, my motives are the highest and best. I want the children protected. So I want to tell you some of what I witnessed personally at the Pomona Fairplex. I saw vulnerable indigenous children from Guatemala who speak Mayan dialects and cannot speak Spanish. That means they cannot ask for help in English. They cannot ask for help in Spanish. They become captives of their sponsors. I have sat with case managers as they've cried to tell me the horror of what has happened to children as they make the journey to this country. I saw apartment buildings where 20, 30, and 40 unaccompanied minors have been released. I saw sponsors trying to simultaneously sponsor children from multiple ORR sites at one time. I saw sponsors using multiple addresses to obtain sponsorships of children. And I saw numerous cases of children in debt bondage, and the child knew they had to stay with the sponsor until the debt was paid. Realizing that we were not offering the children the American dream, but instead putting them in modern-day slavery with wicked overlords was a terrible revelation. A terrible revelation. These children are a captive victim population with no access to law enforcement or knowledge of their rights. They are extorted, abused, neglected, and that is why I blew the whistle in 2021. I witnessed firsthand the horrors of child trafficking and exploitation. My life will never be the same after what I saw, but I have hope because I'm counting on you. It's my hope that you'll take action to end this crisis, to safeguard the lives of these vulnerable children. People have asked me, what can be done? What would you suggest? Well, first, I think HHS's #1 priority is oversight. They must commit to oversight, transparency, and accountability. If I could wave a magic wand, this, I believe, could be quickly solved by experts in the IG community. There is a Pandemic Analytics Center of Excellence, or the PACE, as we call it. I believe if data analysts at the PACE could look at the data, children could be rescued, criminals could be prosecuted. If the PACE had access to this data, it shows where the children are and who has them. I think also we need to change the culture of speed over safety. Speed is the wrong performance measure when dealing with children. We need to revamp the vetting process of sponsors and have case managers who have investigative backgrounds, data analytics backgrounds, some certified fraud examiners. And I think we need to reimagine a system where the sponsor is the accountable party. Sponsors should be required to report to ORR. And lastly, stop retaliating against whistleblowers. Stop retaliating against the people who are trying to tell the truth to save the children. As it is written, a wise man listens to advice, while a fool continues in his folly, and HHS needs to be wise to care for these children.
Thank you very much. Your time has expired.
The Trump White House currently facing a backlog of thousands of reported cases of illegal child migrants being victims of human trafficking. According to HHS, the Biden administration failed to investigate more than 7,000 cases reported as part of a 65,000 case backlog. HHS whistleblower Tara Rodas joins us now. Tara, I know this is an issue close to your heart. It's close to mine as well. Tell us what's happened since you have been a whistleblower during the last administration. What's been happening now, and about these 7,000 cases that the Biden administration failed to probe?
Yes, well, good morning, Rachel. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for shining a light on what we now know was the Biden-Harris administration government-sponsored, taxpayer-funded child trafficking. So the new administration under President Trump has taken unprecedented action to find these children. Now, sadly, they were stonewalled here in the beginning. They're starting to get access to the data. Senator Grassley, who has been a huge champion for these endangered children, has been on the case, putting forward subpoenas, putting forward cases. And the Trump administration, miraculously, in just a 4-month period, has gone through about 28% of that backlog. There's much more work to be done to save these endangered children. And thank you so much for shining a light on this. I think America needs to know about this great humanitarian crisis that we have with these endangered children.
Yeah, it's remarkable. I still remember Javier Becerra saying, referring to the children as like widgets on a Ford assembly line, telling HHS or telling all of his employees at HHS, hurry up, process them through. So they all got through, and now what? How is the Trump administration dealing with this? Is it that they're going out and finding the kids? How is it working? Because we're all so curious. Where are they? Who has them? Who are these adults? And does something happen to the adults who are claiming to be their parents? Many of them aren't.
Well, yes, we do know that many of these sponsors of the children are not family. In some zip codes, the New York Times, if you can imagine, even revealed that in some zip codes, less than 10% of the children went to family members. This is unacceptable. When I raised my hand to help the Biden administration with this crisis, I believed I was going to help place children in loving homes. I had no idea that we were sending children to criminals, to traffickers, and to members of transnational criminal organizations. So the Biden-Harris failed open border policy allowed bad actors into the country. Transnational criminal organizations, foreign terrorist organizations, MS-13, 18th Street Gang, and we know they are sponsors of children. We know that to be fact because in early 2021, DHS whistleblower Aaron Stevenson began to sound the alarm that 18th Street Gang, MS-13 were getting the children. So the Biden-Harris administration turned vulnerable children over to high-level criminal actors. So these children, they're not merely victims of this terrible border policy under the previous administration. They are actually now hostages to criminal cartels. And this administration will not stand for that. They will not allow crimes against children to stand on their watch, and they are out there using every mechanism that they have. There's still more work to be done. There's still more data analytics solutions that can be done. There's still access to data systems that they need, but they're going to get it, and they're going to find these children.
Well, it is just remarkable hearing that our government allowed this to happen under their watch. Knowingly, Joe Biden did this because they were so committed to their open border policy, probably for electoral reasons, and they didn't care that there were child victims in the process. Thank God that you are doing the work you're doing. Thank God for Grassley and, of course, for Donald Trump and Bobby Kennedy, who have committed themselves to finding as many of these children as we can. Sadly, I think some of them will be lost forever. But Tara, we really thank you for coming in. As you get more information and more updates, please let us know. We want to follow the story. We care about these children, and it's very sad. Thank you so much, Tara.
It is interesting that this happened and happened and happened and happened, and the response from the Biden administration, and well, no, it's primarily the Biden administration, is we've got too many of them. And so somebody screaming and hollering that these kids are in danger, we're going to basically fire them. More than 500,000 children have arrived at the borders. That was talking from Rodas. Children are funneled through a network of U.S. government agencies and contractors and non-governmental organizations who have little or no training on how to protect children from trafficking and abuse. More than 8,300 of these children were funneled through the Pomona Fairplex Emergency Intake Site, where she had served as the deputy director to the federal case management team. She saw that with her own eyes, but federal government agencies using billions of taxpayer dollars to place vulnerable migrant children into the hands of sponsors who have criminal history and gang affiliation. So, this is what happened to these children. But you hear all these crying and gnashing of teeth from Democrats about what we're doing to these illegal immigrants. We're getting rid of adults who are criminals under this administration. Yes, there are mistakes that are made. You want to know why the mistakes are made? Because the sheer amount of criminals in this country, well, let's quit calling them illegal immigrants. Well, I mean, I'll probably do that again and again because, well, that's the accepted term. But these criminals is what they are. They violated the laws coming into this country illegally, or they overstayed visas, such as that scum in Colorado, or in Boulder, Colorado, that's from Colorado Springs. Or they're victims that we don't know what the hell to do with. I mean, that's basically the problem here. But I just thought I'd bring this to your attention. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.